Hey Team Flex fam, it is Ryan Milton. You are on episode number 2 of Protein Power. First off, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing these every single week on Monday. You're going to get a new Protein Power where we're breaking down every single thing about nutrition that you need to know to get your goals faster, get where you want to be faster, give you the power to control your own nutrition. All right, so please make sure you subscribe. Today, what we're going to talk about is how you could eat pizza every single day of your life and literally burn fat, build muscle, get in your best physique ever. We're talking about flexible dieting. Those of you that love ice cream, donuts, cake, cookies, treats, candy, any kind of anything, the kind of quote-unquote bad foods that everybody tells you can't have, I'm going to tell you exactly today how you can eat those foods and you can get the results you want without any of the nonsense of, like, you know, you have to eat tilapia and asparagus 6 times a day or eat chicken breast and brown rice. Those are the only ways to get results. Nah. I'm going to tell you straight up the truth, how you can do it yourself wherever you're at. You can have your favorite foods and get the best results of your entire life, all right? So first thing that you got to know, and I hope you're taking notes with me, write some of these things down. Keep it in the brain. If you're driving and you're listening, take some mental notes. Do what you can to make sure you don't forget this stuff, because that's how you remember everything, everybody. You got to either jot it down physically or mentally, all right? First thing you got to do is you got to know you got to have macros, all right? And your macros are your proteins, your carbs, your fats, and your fibers in Coach Rye world, where, you know, we're going to monitor these things to a certain caloric goal as well as a certain macronutrient goal. And we're going to make sure we're hitting those so we can get some damn results. You can't wing it and get results. Like, of course you can do something and get something, right? If you're the person that does absolutely nothing, like you're sitting out there and you're eating, you know, all kinds of, you're eating a pizza yourself a day, you're having some burritos, you're snacking on the cookies at night, drinking back a couple bottles of wine, and now you're like overweight, you're unhappy, you want to change. If you would change even one meal, of course, you're going to see some change, you're going to see some results. But once that initial phase is over and you got to start perfecting things, you got to actually start doing specific things to get results, that's when it requires you to track, okay? And dare I'll say right now, you should never just wing it. You should always track. You should always monitor your progress and always adjust based on your goal and how, you know, you're progressing towards it. But if you're not tracking, then you're just reacting to whatever's coming at you, okay? If you're not tracking, you just reacting, and that's a nice little way to put it, because in reality that's what's happening. You know, if you eat too much one day, you're going to gain weight. If you eat too little the next, you're going to go under. And either way, you're not having any consistency towards whatever your goals actually are. And that's a recipe for disaster, because then any result you get, you don't know how you attained it, you're not going to be able to maintain it. You don't know how you attained it, and you won't be able to maintain it, all right? So you got to make sure you know your macro goals. You got to know what you're trying to do. You got to know if you're trying to build muscle or burn fat or whatever it is. You got to know what it is, and you got to have numbers, okay? The way you can do that, there's a million different ways. A lot of people will try a calculator online. Please do not. Please do not do a calculator online. They're so random. You could do 100 of them and get 100 different answers. You need to get a coach, okay? You need to get a coach, or you need to, like, educate yourself on how to do it. And the latter takes a lot of time. Getting a coach takes no time. There's tons of coaches out there. We at Team Flex, we can help you. We know with any of your macro goals, anything. I got free information on my website, FFLEX.com. We also do coaching plans, so you can get a coach there. If you get a different coach, make sure they know what they're doing. That's it. But you got to have your numbers, all right? And so you got to understand the next thing you got to understand, in other words, is there are no bad foods, okay? So I'm going to tell you how you can eat pizza, you can eat cookies, you can eat cake, brownies, all this shit in your goals every day if you wanted it. Like, you could have some of this every day if you wanted it. In reality, you won't, but you could, okay? And the way you do that is because there's no bad foods. So the classic diet hype, the fad diets, the things that pop up, you know, the paleos, the ketos. The keto has been named 45 different things since it came out almost 100 years ago. And in reality, you know, they're all the same thing. They're all just a fad diet. They'll push on you a specific agenda, tell you can only have these foods for this duration of time, you can only do X, Y, and Z. But in reality, fam, that's not how it works. Your body doesn't know what foods it's eating. okay? And what I mean by this is little does your body know internally, your digestive system, your stomach, it perceives nutrients coming in and calories. Like it knows when it's eating a carb, it knows when it's eating a fat, it knows when it's eating protein. It assimilates, it digests, it disperses, it uses them for different bodily functions, as it should, but it has no damn idea if your protein came from a chicken breast or a piece of steak, or, you know, a carb came from a donut, or from a grain of brown fucking rice. In reality, fam, there's nothing in your belly. There's no little magical creatures, fairies, or anything else that says, you know what, this carb, it came from a donut, so store this on Ryan's fucking ass. Let's make his ass fatter. Let's make his whole body fatter because that's from a donut, so fuck him. It doesn't do that. And there's no alternative one that says, oh, this is from brown rice. Well, this is good for fat burning, so let's burn that fat. Let's burn Ryan's fat because he ate brown rice. There's nothing in your body doing that. When I describe it like that, it sounds ridiculous, right? And that's because it is. There's nothing. Your body knows nutrients in, calories in, and nutrients out, calories out. That's basically it. Calories in, calories out, nutrients in the body, and that's it, all right? So if we know that this is true and there are no good or bad foods, there are only then bad amounts of any food, right? Like you can get into a caloric surplus eating chicken breast and brown rice 6, 7, 8 times a day. I guarantee you. You absolutely could. And you will get fatter if you do that. If you're in a caloric surplus, you're going to gain weight. You're going to get fatter. You're going to build muscle, but you're also going to get fatter. If you're in a super caloric plus, you're going to definitely get fatter. You can get fatter eating salad or eating donuts. Choice is yours. It comes down to the amounts of what you do. You can also lose weight, burn fat, eating salad or eating donuts. And that's the crazy thing, fam. Like you can literally go and have any of the foods you want, any of the foods you enjoy, anything your heart desires. And if you know the right amounts, if you know how to balance it into your goals, you're going to be able to have them. And you're going to be able to have those results too. And this is the stuff that gurus will tell you is impossible. All these fucking online coaches with their Instagram bio certifications, they're going to tell you it's not possible. A lot of people say clean eating is the only way. I don't know how you do your clean eating. You fucking dishwash your food first, throw all your apples in the dishwasher before you eat them. I don't know what you're doing. You're throwing that chicken breast in the damn sink and scrubbing it with a sponge because I don't know what the fuck clean eating is. I know what the body works. I know anatomically. I have 8 fucking different certifications that have never told me that there's any special clean eating food. So take that shit somewhere else. If you want to eat what you want to get the best results, you do it through flexible dieting. And so what you got to do then, right, is you're going to eat these foods. I've just told you, I basically shattered your world. If you're one of those people that are the chronic fat dieters or you've been stuck doing the clean eating for a long period of time, stuck on one meal plan, this probably sounds crazy. You might already turn the fucking video off. But in reality, if you're still here listening, I'm about to give you the secret to all this. And it comes down to the balance, okay? If you want to have these things, obviously you can't only eat a fucking pizza a day and get the best results. You could still burn fat. You could still build muscle doing it if you hit your calorie and macro goals, but it's not going to be possible to do realistically. You know, you're not going to likely hit those goals doing just that, doing just any one type of food, and you need more diversity with your nutrients. You're not going to be your healthiest self, in other words, right? If you're just going to binge on junk food every day and fit to your goals. It's not necessarily the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to have your balance right. And this is a balance between your wholesome foods that you grew up and you learned and you knew were good for you because your mom fucking told you they were. And then the junk foods, the cheat foods, the stuff that people say you can't have, what I call the flexible foods. All right, and so our wholesome, good, whatever foods are going to be our things like our fruits, our vegetables, the lean meats, our protein sources in general. All those are good foods that are wholesome. They come in a whole form. They're the least processed. They're the best for you, right? These are the best foods for you. They come with the most vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, the different things. They're going to be always good in every diet, a great staple for everybody. If you're plant-based vegan, obviously you're getting all the other side of that and not the meat. Doesn't matter. Point is, those are your good, wholesome foods. Your cheat foods are the things that everybody tells you can't have. If you went and looked at any of those fad diets, I guarantee you those foods I'm going to tell you to eat to get your best results are on the banned list. And that's because they don't know what they're talking about. They're just giving you a fad diet. They don't actually know the autonomy, how your anatomy, in other words, how your body actually works and how everything's going to be processed. So your cheat foods are, your pizzas, your burritos, your brownies, your cookies, your cakes, your candies, your, alcohol, things people say you can't have. You can't. You got to have the balance right. So here's the balance I give. You got to fit whatever sounds good to you. But for me, and having coached literally thousands of people, from competitors to pro athletes to everyday lifestyle clients in the gym, I'll tell you what I recommend, and it is 80-20. All right, so write that shit down or take a mental fucking note. 80-20. 80% of the calories and the macros that you eat on a given day should be from the good, wholesome food group. All right, that's our fruits, our vegetables, our lean meats, things like that. And then the 20% is for your flexible foods, your variety, your everyday spice up, the mix up, okay? This is where you can fit those cheap foods in, but you also don't have to. You also don't have to. You can stick to whatever, wholesome foods if you wanted, but the point is keep that balance if you decide to go the other way. If you decide to throw in a brownie, do it in the 20%, not in the 80, okay? And if you can do this, I'll tell you why it's beneficial. You're going to get results long term. You'll be able to maintain the results you get. In other words, you're not going to be one of the fad dieters that loses 20 pounds to gain back 30 in the 6-month span that the diet's over, right? And that's what happens to so many people. So many people jump in diets, never lose the weight, jump out of diets, and they're still not losing the weight, they're gaining weight. Or some people jump into a diet, lose some weight, come out of it, and gain more back than they lost. And it happens all the time, fam. It literally happens. It's unfortunate that it happens as much as it does. And the way that you can avoid that is with flexible dieting. So, if we got this 80-20 down now, how do you break it down, right? Like, what's the best way to make sure you're doing 80% wholesome foods and 20% your flexible foods? Well, I'll tell you what I suggest, and you can break this down however this works for your lifestyle, but this is what I know to work for hundreds and thousands of clients over the years. Most of the time, what I tell people to do is to pick something that they're going to enjoy for at least a week, all right? And what I mean by this is, your 80% of foods could look like this. You could pick a breakfast and a lunch and a dinner that you're going to eat every day for a week. And this is good for people that want to meal prep. This is good for people that want to do that. It's just really easy, in other words, to plan out the macros one time and then, stick to the meals. If you pick meals you like, 7 days is nothing. You'd be over it. If you want to prep stuff, you can prep it all on a Sunday and have it for the week. And that's going to be your 80%. You're going to stick with the same meals with the wholesome foods, the good stuff, the eggs, the oatmeals, the chicken, and the rice, and the vegetables, things like that for those breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, where you can throw your cheats in, your flexible foods, is anywhere after that with that 20%. You could do it as a snack midday, maybe post-gym. Post-gym, you want to get a little carb boost, get a little bump up on the calories after the gym, get a little sugar rush for that protein or something like that. All you got to do is throw it in after the gym. You could have it at nighttime. Maybe you're one of those people that are the chronic night snackers, and you end up messing yourself up because you go over your calories at nighttime. Well, throw in your treat at the end of the day, right? And again, it doesn't have to be a flexible food. It doesn't have to be a pizza, a cookie, a brownie, whatever. It can be more of the other foods. If you feel like, hey, you know what? I feel good because actually I just ate a donut yesterday. I don't need another donut today. Eat another piece of fruit. Eat something you enjoy. These are your variety foods, in other words. You can have, different foods in this 20% category. They don't have to be cheap foods, but it's good for your balance of your diet to do, the same kind of 80% for a week, and every day have 20% that you can mix up, you can vary, you can change, you can enjoy cheap foods, you can enjoy the same types of foods, you can mix it up, have something totally different, right? Maybe you're eating eggs and oatmeal, every breakfast, and now you want to have an extra piece of fruit at night. You know what I'm saying? You can throw in some variety, still stick to the whatever balance of foods you want to get. 80-20 works the best in my experience for consistency over time, and that's super important. If you want to see a sample foods list, you can go to teamfflex.com/macromeal, teamfflex.com/macromeal, and I'll show you a kind of example of this 80-20 and what it would look like for a day. Just, a simple example. It's not going to groundbreak. I wouldn't suggest you take this and try it, but just that you can see kind of how I would break it down, how I suggested in a way that you could, utilize that. So head to the website now, subscribe to the mailing list, and get that sent to you now. Basically, if you can do this, fam, you can have results long term. It's sustainable. It's going to last a long time, okay? Common mistake with most diets is there is no longevity. There is no, hey, I can do this today, I can do this for 30 days, I can do this for 30 years. It's always missing the last part, right? Most of our fad diets are, our crash diets or simple whatever, kind of like I'm going to be paleo or keto fucking diets. They don't last in the long term of life. It's very, very hard to sustain a keto diet for 30 years. People can do that when they have medical issues that maybe they need that diet because they'll die otherwise. Yeah, sure, then you can stick on it because the alternative is death. But if you're just doing it for results, guess what? You're bound to waver. You're bound to fall off one day. We're humans. We're human beings. We're bound to fuck it up. And when we do, we will rebound the weight. We will rebound all the results. We will lose all the progress we made and have wasted a lot of time on all these new fancy supplements, different diet foods, and all this bullshit that won't actually have got us any closer to results. This type of dieting, this flexible dieting that I'm telling you about, is balance in longevity. And what I mean by this is you will get results because you have a nice balanced diet. You can be consistent. Every day, if you do the 80-20, you're never going to binge on anything. You're never going to wake up one night having, got drunk on fucking Saturday, ate 2 pizzas and a fucking pan of brownies and said, shit, I binged out last night. Because that won't happen if you do the variety. If you can mix it up, you're going to keep your palate satisfied. You're going to be able to keep your body satisfied. You're not going to be craving anything. You're not going to fall off the wagon. Everything's going to be solid and sustainable for you. And when we can do that, consistency is what provides results. When you do these fad diets and you get great results in your 30 days, it's because you were consistent for 30 days, not because it's any miracle. The problem with those things is you oftentimes can't do them for long enough for the results to last. Flexible dieting, however, doing an 80-20 macro tracking plan, you can do that now, 30 years, 60 damn years from now. You might be able to track macros in the damn coffin when you're dead. I don't know yet, but you might be able to do it, okay? And in reality, what I'm saying is it's a lifelong thing. So if we can lifelong pay attention to our diet, track our macros, eat flexibly, eat on this 80-20 and enjoy all foods of life, guess what else comes with it? The results. You can get the results, you can keep the results, you can lose 30 pounds and lose 35, lose 37, keep going. You can lose the weight, keep it off, and enjoy life. Same thing goes for building muscle, same thing goes for all this. People will be sitting here now wondering about competitors, right? Great, Ryan, that sounds awesome for, lifestyle clients. People that want to go to the gym. But what about competitors? There's no way athletes can eat this way. There's no way competitors can eat this way. Well, I'll tell you straight up, fam. Sports performance athletes, like Olympic swimmers, like Michael Phelps and shit, go look at Michael Phelps' diet. Dude eats 10,000, 12,000 calories when he's training for something because he's eating pizza. He's eating, brownies, he's eating all these things because he's got to get the calories in. He's training, he's performing, he's got to get those calories, and that's flexible dieting. He's doing the same thing. I guarantee he's eating good foods too. Go look at the top strongman of the world. Go look at Eddie Hall's diet or any of these guys, and you're going to see some dramatic amounts of these kind of flexible foods that they fit into their diets routinely. They're not doing clean eating 100% of the time when they're trying to get their calories. They're doing a balanced approach, and they get great results. And competitors will say it's impossible to do this. I've trained hundreds and hundreds, thousands of competitors at this point, honestly, and I've had them all do flexible dieting, and I got pros, I got amateurs that win in their shows, their first shows. I got tons and tons of top 5 competitors, like thousands over the years of top 5 competitors. So to say that this kind of stuff can't be done just means you haven't educated yourself. You don't actually know what you're talking about. You heard one thing, and now you've taken it as gold. And in reality, the approach that works the best is the one that's open to everything, right? And that's what I believe in, that's what I practice, and that's how my competitors, my athletes, my lifestyle clients get the best results. And flexible dieting is one way that you can do that, another tool in the shed that can help you in the long term of everything, okay? That means you can get results now and keep them for a long period of time, and that's why, in my opinion, is the best way to go, the only way to go for nutrition, all right? So there is sometimes trouble people will run into when they're trying to learn the balance here, when they're trying to learn the balance factor between how much cheap food and how much, normal, wholesome kind of food do I get. And in reality, I'll tell you right now how to shortcut that. Make sure you plan in advance. If you decide not to do the 7-day plan I suggested for you, where you eat the same things, at least plan your foods out the night before. All right, so what you need to do then is sit down at night and say, tomorrow, here's my macro goals. I want to do the 80-20 or 90-10, whatever you chose. I want to fit those in. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out my foods for tomorrow that I want to eat. I'm going to pick out my foods for, my cheat foods for later that I want to have. And do that at least in advance, because what happens, the problem is people will mess the balance up when they don't plan. Like if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, right? That's literally one of the best ways to put it. If you don't prepare for it, you're gonna fucking fail. And that's the way it comes down. So if you go ahead and just wing it on your day, you're just tracking all kinds of random things as they come at you. Oh, I'll have a banana, I think. I'm at the gas station, it looks good. Donuts at work today, I'm gonna have 3 of these. And then you track it later and you're like, what the you're off. You're off, you're not gonna hit the balance. And if you do that, now we're inconsistent every day. We're gonna get inconsistent results. We're not gonna be happy with the results we get from doing that. But we can be happy with the results if we get the consistency. So make sure that you plan it out in advance. You get the balance. If you do the 7-day, that's great. If you don't, do the night before, and that's going to work too, okay? And that's super important that you understand the benefits of that. Because if you don't have that, you got nothing. If we can't be consistent with a diet approach, it's game over. This is so simple and easy to be consistent with, it's insane. Like, this will change your life, I'll tell you straight up, if you can actually do this. And the amount of people, I can't tell you how many people I've coached over the years, lifestyles, competitors, everybody, that have literally come to me and said, you know what, I've tried every approach, nothing has worked. I've tried to lose this 40 pounds 100 different times, nothing works. I've tried to get here, I've tried to get there, none of this works. I don't know what to do. You're the last hope I got. I saw some of your stuff on flexible dieting. I haven't tried it, I want to try it, it's it. I'm going all in, this is it. And then you know what happens? They get results every single time. I have yet, honestly, in my career, after training thousands of people, seen a person that could not succeed on flexible dieting. Never seen it. I've never seen somebody do flexible dieting and actually do it, actually track, actually follow the consistency, actually stay on top of it, and fail. I've never seen it. I've seen a lot of people that don't do it fail. I've seen a lot of people that do the fad diets fail. I've seen a lot of people that do the meal plans fail. I've seen so many of those people fail. I've never seen one person do a macro tracking program, flexible dieting style, with the balance and with the consistency fail. So what that means is you, as you sit here and you watch this, and you're the person that's maybe one of those people that's been stuck, or you've fallen off, you've done the chronic fad diet, don't blame yourself. There's a lot of bad misinformation out there. There's a lot of stuff that we just can't, unfortunately, get out of the industry, and it's pretty much made so that you're going to go into it, fail, and come back and buy it again. That's why we got version 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of all these different, fad infomercial programs that come on the internet. You know what I'm talking about. Come on the TV too. But basically, they're designed so that you jump on, you get good results, you fail, and then when you fail hard enough that you're real upset with it, you're going to come back and buy the next version. And it's a vicious cycle and an unfortunate sales side of the nutrition industry and the supplement industry as a whole. But in reality, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't actually have to go through that. Like, we can get great results. You can do it one time. You can do it for way less money. You can do it with way less effort, and you can enjoy everything. Let's not forget that the approach that I'm talking about means that you're not the person who's on prep or who's trying to lose weight, who's at the dinner table eating out of a Tupperware while your family's having a great meal. You're not the person out at the restaurant with your friends eating out of a Tupperware while everybody's enjoying themselves, having a variety of different foods. You, on a flexible dieting program, can go eat out. You can go to restaurants. You can have dinner with your family, your kids. You can go have a fucking date and actually have a social relationship while you are on prep or while you are trying to diet or attain a specific goal. This works for longevity. This works for life. And if you fail to see that, then unfortunately you're going to always fail. You're going to be the person that tried every fad diet for the next 40 years and you're still sitting there not where you want to be. So if you want to get where you want to be, you want to take action, what you need to do is get yourself set up. You got to understand that you need a plan, you need an approach, you need to know how to do it, and then you need to track it. You need to monitor it, you need to fit the balance, you need to be consistent, and over time, I can promise you, you will get results. You simply cannot fail if you do what it takes. And you might say, you know what, I hear what you're saying, Ryan, this sounds great, this sounds awesome, but I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to actually track, I don't actually know what macros I need. I don't actually know what foods are good. I don't know how to do any of this. I don't know how to fit the 80-20 balance. Well, you can still go to the website, teamflex.com/macromeal, and you're going to get an example of what that looks like that will hopefully help help you, in other words, see it, but you also can hire a coach. And I strongly suggest that you do. You can come work with me or my coaches at Team Flex, and we master this stuff. Like, we've been doing the macro programs for years for everybody, and it works so well. The transformations are insane. The people that told me they would never be able to get results, and they get them so quick and so simple when they have the right macros. It's insane. It's so effective and so easy and so worth it. A lot of people think they're going to save themselves money by trying to figure it out on your own. All you're going to do is waste more money trying so many different approaches and never getting a result. I strongly suggest, if you are interested in flexible dieting, that you get a coach, and it doesn't have to be us at Team Flex. Please don't feel like we're the only coaches out there. There are many coaches, but you got to get a coach that knows how to do this. You got to get a coach that understands flexible dieting. You got to get a coach that can help you and lead you through this, because if you go and you take a guess, if you go and you take a macro calculator online, if you go and you simply try to learn what it takes most people 20, 30 years to learn in a day or a weekend, guess what? You will fail. You will fail on these types of plans if you don't do it the right way. So don't simply think that you can guesswork. Don't think that there's any, way that you can shortcut the line or save yourself time or money. The best thing you can do to save time and money is hire a coach that knows how to get you where you want to be. And so again, we can do that at teamflex.com. You can download my plan, the free one that I was talking about, the macro meal, and see how that looks for you, and just kind of, get an idea for it. Do not follow that plan. Do not look at it and think you can follow it, because everybody's calories, everybody's macros, everything else are different. They need to be different. They need to fit your goals and what you're trying to do, fit your age, your body, your physique, everything. So don't mess with it. Just look at it, get an idea, and try to figure it out, or hire a coach. I strongly suggest that you hire a coach, okay? So that's all I got for today on Protein Power, ladies and gents. I hope that you got something good out of it. I appreciate you all being here watching. Please subscribe to my channel. If you got anything out of the video, please share it. And as always give me suggestions, hit me with comments, hit me with questions, whatever you got for me. I want to give you guys the content you want to see, the stuff you want to hear. I want to educate you on the stuff that people won't tell you, or they just want to sell you. That's what you get for free with me, Ryan Milton, Team Flex, Protein Power. I'll see you back next week on Monday. Thank you for watching. Coach Ryan is out.